Morning, everyone. Should be a little bit late. Had a couple of things I had to do quickly. Yes, probably think, well, where's Ashley? I presume he told you those yesterday. He's got a day off today, away for the weekend. So I'm just standing in. So how's it? Okay, yes, so we can start. Morning. Got a couple of ideas. As per normal, anything you're in, you want to have a look at, and you want to go into, and you want to post to the chat line or unmute yourself and discuss further. Score. Just mentioned any new people coming, more new people coming in. So just a second, let these guys in. So good day to you all. And yeah, so you can post, unmute, and interact. This is a forum, not a class. So we need action to make it work. Okay, now you come first, you come up with an idea. But in the absence of that, which is posted in the chat line, I'm going to have a couple of things myself this morning. Just a second, then we can go to discuss them afterwards. I think the yen is overbought. In other words, overcooked on the downside for the dollar against the yen. So I'm seeing a buy here. Okay, it's the bottom of the range. It's come off. This is more fundamentals. Remember yesterday I had quite a few interest rate announcements, including the non-interest rate announcement coming out from Japan, which bode well for the economy, but did it bode well enough? I think it's overcooked, and I see the dollar with the yields, as you know by now, at over 0.7% are very high indeed, very inflationary. And also the dollar DXY, the dollar index, not only over 110, it's over 111. It even approached 112 at one stage of the last day. Yesterday, I think it was, yeah. So bottom line, I'm seeing some upside here in the range. So I see a buy here. Would you like it? If they do, I'll put up the calculator. Zef joined us, so you're going to say go for a sell there, Zef? But I'm joking, but I want people to do that because it means they have their own opinions. So I want them to see why they're doing it. Most important. You know, I say learn how to fish rather than just getting the fish. Okay, anyway, so you like it. All right, so what I'll do, I'll put it up and you can see I've already got it out to some people this morning already at 142.10, by the way. 141, yeah, they're already there. See, yeah. So it's already sent out to a couple of guys who are with me at 142.10, but you can still chase it here, and there's your risk reward. So I hope you start off Friday morning with hopefully a decent trade. Yeah, well, that's also true. I mean, you know, we laugh, but we're emotional animals, and if we're not comfortable with something, leave it alone. I think we had, you haven't seen for a while, old Lungi. Do you remember him? He's a couple of months now, and he used to be gun shy of the GBP. From that area, I do agree with the GBP is a funny currency. Okay, so anybody else like it apart from Warren? Anybody else? So a few guys just joining in now, so they might want to. Well, okay, Carol, that's good enough. Okay, anybody joining? Got a trade idea out at the moment? My idea, anyway. Big word we. I'm not a royal. The royal we. As a buy. Okay. Jumping around a bit, but yeah, so we'll have to do that. Okay, that's fine. Put that. Make it 142.1, 141.30, and 144. Okay, let's just check that on the 4 hour. Yep, seem to be holding. 1 hour, a little bit of a range trade at the moment, but as I said, on the short, very short timeline, It's hovering around a bit, but hopefully you get a bit of some bias coming in here. Okay, so there we are. A couple of guys, a couple of minutes to like it, to write it down. I'll go on to the next. I've got a couple here. That's correct, yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's the one responsible for the trading marines. And it's ESCOM, but ASCOM. Morning, morning, morning. So anyone likes that trade? There it is. There's your risk reward. Go for it. I'll give it a couple more moments and guys are joining in here. Okay, we can move on. The other one, CHFJPY, also a buy. I think that's overcooked. And I see some upside on this one. Got the daily there, a little bit more on there. It's held there, almost bang on it. That's why it's so important you have these two moving averages. Look at it. Okay, held, bow. Bit of sellers coming in with a bit of support there. I think the Swiss franc is going to come into a bit of strength here. So, yeah, I see upside on this one. If you like it, you can look at this risk reward. What have I got down for this one? Forgotten actually. I've written it down, sent it out earlier to a couple of guys. Just a second. Okay, quite a tight stop. 144.80. Quite a tight stop. It's a bit too tight. We can do something about it. And what's the TP? 50. Very tight stop. I think it's a bit too tight. So maybe we should make it a little bit wider, maybe down here somewhere. There we are. Still a decent risk reward. That's probably a better one. There you are. Anybody like that one? Okay. Okay, anybody else? Finally likes it? Anybody else? Okay, right, well, that's down there. US, CHF. Just write it down, excuse me a second. 145, 2143 point.
Ik weet iets in prijs. Ga je nog geen bij mij zeggen?
Just going to mute you all. I got a little bit of interference. If you want to chat, just let me know and I'll unmute as per normal. Yeah. I don't think so. It just means Japanese. Well, anyway, they're all asleep now. Anyway, is it? When were they at 2 o'clock in the morning? So now it's starting to go to sleep. Markets are closing over there. Oh, thanks for that, Leotili. Yes, it was. Not too bad. And nor was the Euro CHF actually too bad either. Just want to get the guys sorted on this one, and then we can move on. Seems to be holding. Let's do the hourly. Yeah, seems to be holding that. I think it's a good chance of maybe a break up here. Okay, so those who want it, there it is. Gonna knock it off now. We can go on. Now, I saw you, what's today now? Friday or Tuesday. So it's a few days ago, but we can look at a couple of them. EURAUD was a short. You say it did okay. 147.89 and what? Yeah, well, there I hit the TP. That's perfect. That was a nice one. Sorry about that, Zeph. You were long on that one. So just left the trading shape. Oh, actually, just coming in. Maybe just hold on a minute to rub it in there. Okay. Okay, Ashley, welcome. Just looking at EURAUD. No, we're not. So I didn't put it on there. This is really a nice way to welcome you, eh? You and Zeph went for a long on this one, if I remember rightly, and we went for a short. Oh, it hit our TP. Morning, Ash. Okay, right. Moving along. You're a CHF, that hit the TP, so there's another beaut. Don't know, was it the TP8? Very nice. Euro NZD, made a lot of wipe the smile off the face. That was a sell as well at 1.69. This is a few days ago, to be fair, so it might be a bit outdated. Have a look anyway. 1.69, TP 166.28. Wow, doing pretty well. Okay, I don't know if anybody's still in that trade we took out. I think it was on Tuesday. I give them a break. Yeah, you're right there, TD. Moving along. He's talking nonsense, Steph. Do you know he had to hitch home because he put his car on it and it went awry. So he had to hitch home. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you are NZD. Yeah, if anyone's still in it, clearly move your stop loss. Okay. Okay, Temba, welcome. You'll find the other guys will receive you nicely. Yeah, but I skipped out. I sidelines on that one, Zeph, and you were quite right. I was a bit nervous, it's too nervous to go and join it. And you're quite right, and that dollar did its thing. AUD came off well. So I didn't lose, but I lost out profit, so I missed out and go for it. Absolutely spot on. Right, yeah, Euro NZD, anybody still in it? Obviously modify your stop. Yeah, I won't go on too long if you're all out, taking profit or whatever, it's obviously winning trade. At 66.28, so it's quite a long TP on that one. If you want to hold on, you can, but maybe make it 168.20, something like that. So at least you built in about 80 pips of profit, and let it go. If you get stopped out, you win. If you hit your TP, you win more. What a pleasure. Yeah, thank you. Right, AUD USD, that was Zeph's, coming at 67.04. I wrote it down because quite a few people joined it, and those who did join, never mind what I did or did not do, is irrelevant. It's more the point what you did, and you'd be smiling now. It's 100 pips in profit. If you're still in, well, modify your stop as per normal. Maybe give it about a 30 pip stop. Okay. If you're not in it doesn't matter. I would suggest, I don't know what Zeph thinks of this, but I'm not sure I'll be joining it now, although the dollar's still king. In fact, it's going up. It's nearly 112 at the moment. It's still strong, and the yields on the 10-year note are above 3.7%. So despite all this interest rate stuff, it's still very inflationary there, which is bad for the markets, bad for gold, and quite frankly, bad for AUD. Yeah. Joining it now, again, I'm going to be scared and I'm going to sit aside on this one. But if you're in, clearly hold it. It's still very strong, the dollar. Modify the stops, you can't lose. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Well, don't thank me. Don't thank the dollar. Thank Mr. Jerome Powell. Okay, great. So that's a winner. Let's see if we find all these winning stuff. God, there must be a loser somewhere. Let's have a look. What about S&P? That was getting at 3.9. Oh no, not another winner. Oh, how tiresome. Hey, Gerard, yeah. Those who went it at 3.9. It's now 265. No, 165 pips in profit. What a pleasure. absolutely modify your stop to 3.8 and ride it down further. I don't, not sure I want to be entering now, but I definitely see more downside. We've got the TP at 3644. There's a good chance it's going to get there. So make sure your stop's going to protect your profits at 3.8. You cannot lose. You made money, whatever. Yeah, and it gets a bit much here, Leah TDA. Let's see. Surely this must be a loser. Apple, that was a share that came out on Tuesday. Surely we got in at 155.35 as a sell. Oh no, another winner. Oh no. Actually, yeah. God, this is painful, you guys, me on this bloody gloating carry on, eh? You need the profit to go and put up with it. Eh? No, we got a 155.35, and yeah, we're what are we? Just under $3 in profit on that one. One now 152.60. Yeah, so yeah, it's nearly there. I think we can't do anything about it now. So no point to move your stock because you can't. The market's closed until 3:30. Let's see, we're doing well. On that subject, I just want a quick look at the NAS because it continues like this. I think it's going to open further down. I want to join gold. Some guys did. I think some guys put their profit a bit earlier. So aim at 1650, get it at 1680. Some guys already taken it. I don't want to chase it now. So gold, yeah, leave that alone for the moment. Some guys got it at 1680. Yeah, I'm still in it. That's right. I got it at 1680 as well. Some guys modified the stop a little bit closer. Got stopped out. They made a profit, but it could have been a big one. Anyway, that's another story. Right, the Nasdaq, it still seems to be the downside. Again, no surprise there. Solar rally have been going on about that record for quite a while, and it's coming off still, as you can see. I just want to show you more on a 4-hour chart. Yeah, you can see maybe on the daily even better. Still coming off. If it continues like this, Apple will open down. So you can't join it if you're not on board. We can, but sorry, what's it there? Yeah, yeah. So I think it's going to open down. Sorry, guys, nothing much you can do about it if you're not in, because we'll be changing it. It looks like Apple, if you're in it, will open down. I think Farney's in it. You guys are in it. So yeah, I think that should continue the journey. Right. So those the ones, and the ADCAD was also fine. So yeah. We don't have an afternoon session today, so keep an eye on it, but it should open down Apple later on. If it opens down quite a bit, maybe below 150, then you get your stops just below entry to cover your costs and the downside. So you can go to the weekend, whatever happens, you're going to win. I could do, yeah, good point there, and that's a very good point. Yeah, he's doing his thing again tonight. What time is that? I think it's 8 o'clock. I'm just going to check, sorry. 8 o'clock, yeah. So 8 o'clock tonight, he's speaking again. I'll tell you what I think, Anya. I remember I mentioned this before. Powell, all of them, particularly Powell, does not want to shake the markets too much. Okay, so he's continued. I watched it actually on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And I got a bit bored after a while because they keep asking the same questions. He keeps on saying the same thing. He wants to get inflation down. He'll remain hawkish, and that's what he's sticking with. Simple as that. People say, what interest rates likely more, when, or whatever. And clearly he's going to say, we'll look at the situation. But he was clear on one thing. He wants that inflation area to come down. We can't continue to put the interest rates up. We'd have a negative effect in the end because, remember, people live on debt. So just let this guy in, so it gets to a stage, you put on many further, you can go into stagflation where you're stuck in so much because people can't buy stuff because they can't, the interest rates are too high to borrow money. I'll try to start an example. Let's say you're in business, you've got a product about 20 grand, maybe even 10 or 15 grand. It's not a lot of money, 10, 15 grand. It might be some, but you know, in the scheme of things, it's not a big money. But make it 10 or 15 grand or slightly upwards, and you're in business and you couldn't sell it on tick, it had to be cash. You would battle to sell it. So the only way you sell it is on tick. Now, if on tick, interest rates are too high, people can't afford the monthly, they won't buy your product. If you don't buy your product, you've got to let people go, your business closed, all sorts of knock-on effects. like a tax money. So it cannot just put it up willy-nilly. But I think we'll probably have another one, and then wait for a while, and then it takes time. It lags, you know, the economy lags. And let's say it could be several months' time, you'll see the effect of the increase in interest rates. And if they have the positive effect as bring inflation down as expected, yet the jobs situation is not too bad, then you might have to actually reduce them. So that's the sort of area to be looking at. Yeah, that's correct, actually, spot on. Well, we've got a couple of trade ideas out, Raymond. But anyway, so yeah, the Nasdaq's coming off, so expect Apple to come down. Just want to look at the two trade ideas, those are missed, if you don't mind. Roger, when you have a chance, we'll do that straight away. Yeah, I see another. I've put it written down here, actually. Yes, I have. That's another one. I was going to look at Brent as a buy, NZD, JPY as a buy. Got them written down here. I see that as upside as well. Now, it won't help you much, funny enough, Zeph, because you're talking about the yen, and now you brought up an idea on the yen. So maybe you're not going to be happy. I don't know, but I see upside here as well. That's another one I want to look at as a buy. Anyone like the look of it? I think it's overcooked. The yen, and or which way you're looking at it, it's over strong. I think NZD, I think it's going to hold. Still got it's in a neutral zone, but still see the longer term upward movement. I think it's a good chance of this going back up. So I quite like it. Anybody like the look of this one? What do you think, Zeph? Were you looking for a sell on this? Because I'm looking to buy. You think it'd be a good buy? Okay. Ashley, I think she's deserting you, Zeph. I think she's agreeing with me. Hang on, mate. This could be a break of a relationship made in the virtual. Okay, Zeph, even Zeph agrees. Philip likes it. Well, let's do it then. Right, where can we put the stop? We can put it out the way down here. Yeah, put it down here. No, do's your bloody told now. Make it 82. That's all right. See, out of the way. This guy, just to minimize, see what I mean? Now what? So last time I was down there was back on the 25th of May. What we now? We're in September, 4 months ago. Okay, so should be okay there. Hopefully, don't get too cute. 82. Never forget the commentator's curse. We've got a big potential upside. I'll take it here. Take it here. 84.40. If you don't forget, you can modify your TP as well. If it starts to rally, you can modify your stop. You can cut your position. Maybe you don't have to close the entire one. Cut your position. Bank a few of them. Let the others run and move your TP up, and maybe we'll get as far as that. We'll start off with this nice risk reward, just over $100 a micro. Are we happy with that, guys? Shall I write that one down as well? Just get down. Remember, just two guys. Japan's on holiday, yes, correct. That's not to do with actually. Just on holiday, so don't worry about that too much knowledge. Okay, Yapi mentioned that. Look, I'm very sorry to say, Yapi, Ash can help you. I'm pretty sure I can't. I'm just going to check that just to see before I get too cute. Yep, it's coming up. So it should be able to do it. Check the specifications. Close only. Aha. Should have thought of that. Just thought of it now because I'm more on the ball with other calls and I'm conscious of the trade room. Close only. Oh, I think I know the reason why. By the way, Ash is on audience, so is what should we call it, Jark. He's the one that plays around with this. I remember now, as mentioned, there's a couple of things that are coming up, which I think I'll leave what's happening at the moment, but you can close it if you're in. But well, I will give a hint. I think we're looking at change the size of the contract. Remember I mentioned before, gold, NASDAQ, and Dow and S&P are all 10 contract size. There's a big difference in the numbers. You know, one's about 1,600, one's about 4,000, one's about 12,000, and one's about 30,000. And there's massive differences. So I think they're looking at doing something with it. So till they make their minds up on it, it's close only. So if you're in, great. You can close it. Obviously, you can close it. So you're stuck in it, but you can't open it. So that's the answer to that. Okay. So that's sorted. Jark will be back on Monday, and we should have an update on it. And if the contract change, you can then it'll clearly be there, and you'll see the difference. Will be 10, will be whatever it is. You change to, or it'll be the same, and they'll take away. It'll be full access instead of close only. There you are. Okay. So that's the answer to that one. So if you're in it, you can close. You can modify your stop. You can't enter a new one, but I would suggest doing now anyway. I think it's chasing it. So there we are. So that's sorted. Okay, going back, NZDJPY, $100 a micro. Do you like it? You can do higher TP if you like. Anyone wants a higher TP right up there, they can do it. It's up to you. I'm just saying the moment. But if you want to move it up, you can do it. Once you're in it's all about equity management, modifying your stop loss. If you see higher up, doesn't matter. You shift the thing up and modify and do whatever. Okay. So yeah, if you want to put a higher stop, sorry, a TP, it's entirely up to you. But we'll stick with this at the moment. We can always play around with it. Okay. All right. Anybody like this? I've answered your question, by the way, Yapu. Okay. Okay, 2 people already, probably 2 more, so that's good enough. Right then, 82.75, 82, 84.40. Just a second, I'm going to send it out. Yeah, well, I was looking down to, I had it written down this morning. We'll look at Brent in a minute. Just give me a moment. Okay. While you write down, just wanted to send a quick WhatsApp. Excuse me a second. Right. Oh, Jesus, here. Good stuff. Okay. Oh, very good question there, Hal. Was you writing that down? Okay, I'm just going to knock it off now so you can see what I'm doing. Always go back to it. Okay, these are the important ones. Sorry to hold the other guys up, but it's important for you guys coming in. You must have this one. 200-day is the brown one. Any color you like, I have to use brown. Okay. Brown is the 200-day simple moving average, and this one is the 50-day simple moving average. Internationally used, very important. Also, a lot of people use 100, but not as much as these two here. So don't overcut to the chart, put that on and put that on. If you like the magenta one, that's personal choice, and that's the 10-day one. If you like it, you can put on as well. Once you put it on, remember, all simple, you right click, go to anywhere on the chart, go to templates, save the template, okay, and you put in obviously a name of your choice, save it. So if you do lose the chart, you have a problem, just right click, go to templates, and you'll see those are saved ones. I've got 5 different ones saved, you can have as many as you like. So don't forget, that and that are very much a must. That is your choice. If you prefer the 20, it's up to you. Prefer the 15, the 18, prefer the exponential, that is personal choice. I just know that very, very commonly used is the simple, the 50 and the 200. So I strongly suggest you have them. The shorter term ones, personal choice. And remember, if a lot of people do something, it becomes the whole point about self-fulfilling. It's not right or good or bad, it's self-fulfilling. Hope you got the idea behind that. Okay, right. So it goes from there. Okay, yeah. I think we've covered more or less those. Oh yes, sorry, Brent, do something else. Brent, something else I want to get into. Getting about 88. Been waiting for that patiently for the pullback. I think that's a good chance of maybe a bit of a bounce with an $84. Okay, it's not quite at 88. Is there any more downside movement? Looks like it hit the 88. Yeah, it's already hit the 88 and a bounce on the hourly. So I see Brent as a buy. It's only 40 cents away from 88. It's already had that bounce, so I don't think we're making too big a mistake by going in now. But I see an 84, maybe a bit tighter. Make it $85 stop, and then you can take it to 95. But don't forget, if it gets there, great. If it doesn't, modify your stop, because it might not get to 95, 80, yeah, 95. It might get to 94 like it did last time. Doesn't matter. You made a reasonable profit. You get the idea. So Brent's the other one I was looking at to chat about now. But everyone, by the way, as I'm waffling, I look at what Zeph wrote there. This is very, 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 very important, what he just said there. I do my own analysis and I decide if I should go in or not. That is key. I get the fact when people first do this, they've got to follow somewhere. But with a bit of practice, tend the trade room, getting the hang of it, get an understanding of it, then you can make your own mind up. And the quicker you're in control, the better it is. Then you've got someone to assist you, but you're not totally reliant on them. I've known some guys been with me now 3 years, and they're still totally reliant on what I say, which is fine, but it's not fine, because you know, they should be more self-reliant, for a better way of putting it. So that's a very good point. And as it's been, we make a joke of it, but it's said we've had a couple of trade ideas out where Zeph's gone for. I stood on the sidelines and he was right, or he went. I thought it was a long and he was a short, or vice versa. I can't remember, and he was right. Sometimes not right, but the point is, it's very important to get to that stage. To be fair, he's probably done it for a while, and how long, but I don't think it's going to take. Most people who have an interest and enjoyment of it, take the trouble to come to the TR, do a little bit of their own analysis. It shouldn't take more than a month or 2, maybe 3 months, something like that, to get them a strong basic idea. The rest just is time-consuming patience. The age of the candle. Well, great, absolutely. GPCHF for sell. Yeah, you're right about that. Well, we do that. The age of the candle. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. The candle is ages 1 day. I don't understand what you mean by that, Eddie. I've heard of trading view. I think I've used it in the past, but have I used it? Not so much. I'm happy with what I got, so don't bother. But the age of the candle is, I'm not quite sure what you mean there. This is a daily. If you look at the 1 hour candle, the age of that candle now is 5 minutes. It started at 10 o'clock. Okay, GBP. Well, I mean, we don't know because anything could happen in the next 55 minutes. We'll make it a 50-minute chart. Actually, won't make it a 5-minute chart. Anything can happen in the next 4 minutes. I don't really know. I don't understand that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe Google it or something. GBP CHF. Okay, so never cropped up, and I'm not that clear on it, but yeah, you can't. That's a work in motion. You can't tell what's going to happen the next second. Never mind 50-odd minutes on the next. What's it? 14 hours on a daily. Right, GBP CHF. You're quite right about the pound being weak. The 10-day moving average seems to be holding, as you can see. It's been holding since, let's do this. It's been holding since 10th of June. That's 3 months ago, right? Over 3 months ago, it's been holding. So yeah, I hear you. Now the question is, do you want to enter now? Ooh. What's the distance here? Yeah, I could get some downside here. I don't know why it's not really making me jump up and down. But apparently, quite right, is weak. It's okay. It's okay. I think it's not a bad one, but I do need a bit of moral support for this one. You like it, Warren? Anybody else like it? Anyone else like it? I'll put the RR up if you want it. Yeah, have you missed it? I mean, let's try for our chart. See, on the 1 hour, they apply to all charts. Don't forget, guys, this is not a 200-day now. It's a 200-hour, and that's the 50-hour moving average. All the moving average smoothed out the noise. That's what it means. That's the average price movement without all the ups and downs we call the noise. It seems to be holding on the hourly, getting a bit. If you look at shorter-term charts, and that seems to be holding on the 15-minute as well. It's looking more positive. Hey, I'm starting to graduate more towards it. It's a bit low, but I mean, there's a bit low down here, my friend. I'll give a good example, bring Zeph into it. It's a bit low, the AUD USD. I'm a bit frightened chasing it now. Hey, am I right here, Zeph? Zeph went for it and he's 100 pips up. You get my point. And I've used myself as the whipping boy on that specific area. So yeah, it's a bit low, but I mean, look at the euro dollar. It's a bit low parity. Now look at it. So yeah, don't guys get the habit of saying there's a bit low, I'll buy it, or a bit high, I'll sell it. Not necessarily, it could go higher, it could go lower. Okay, anyone like it? Put the R up and see if you like it. If you do, you do, and then you can tell me. Okay, shorten it. Yeah, put this stop up here. Oh, where is that? $80 pips stop. Just about squeeze it. To be 140. Maybe put the TP a little bit low if you like. Is there any more noise on the other side that'll help out? Not really. So put a little bit low if you like. Put a TP down. Maybe put it down there. Yeah, let's do it down there. I'll do it. Okay. Yeah. So if you like that, so it's just above the 10-day moving average. $130 a micro. Who's keen on that? Yeah. CHF, I still think it's strong. I agree. Yeah, I think it's going to get worse. I've said it before. Nothing wrong with the person, but I think don't think what's her name? Liz Truss is the right person, the economic perspective of the job. I was for the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, if I pronounce it rightly. I think he would be a better one to tackle the economic situation there. But she's a bit more populist. We tend to spend rather than make, But that being as it may, yeah. Anyone like a bit more? You're going in, Adele. Okay. Anyone to join Adele? I haven't yet. I've been smacked around a couple of times with Cat JPY, so I'm a little bit on that one. But that's just pure emotion, like Zephyr the Yen on that one. But it doesn't mean to say it's not a wrong trade. It's been smacked around a couple of times, doesn't mean that you can't get it right the next one. Okay, that's right. Got a couple of people there. Right, so let's write it down. GBP, CHF, sell. We'll look at Brent again, see if we can get in that one. So we've got sidetrack there, 1948, 1.1025, 1.0827. Ignore the last digits, no relevance. Just do the 4 decimal points. Okay, good. Whose idea was that? Just write it down because it wasn't mine. Whose idea? Just a second. GBP CHF. Who was it? So I scroll up and find it. Can't remember whose idea was this. Give me a moment. Was I trying to find whose idea it was? I can't find it. Whoever's idea, just post and I'll put it down. It was Warren's idea. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Good stuff. Put the name down there. Okay, right. So let's get Christine in. Just knock this off. I want to go to Brent again. Anyone like to look at Brent for a buy? It's coming back down to 88. Maybe you want to wait to be for a bounce or something like that. It might come down a bit further. Can we prudent wait for a confirmed bounce, or do you want to jump the gun and see 88 like you did last time, a whole round about those levels on the daily, with maybe make it a $4 stop at 84. Take it up to 95, and if it doesn't reach it, and you stopped out at 93, who gives a damn? You did well. Brent, yep, like that. Okay, Brent. Make it 95, then that should do the job. There you are. $75 a micro. Anyone keen on this one? Okay, Adele's keen. You're keen. Hey, Gerard. Okay, I'll put it down as 2 people. Anyone more join it? That's good enough to write down. Yeah. Buy. What we've got? 88.10. Call it. 80. Was it 84? Was it 84.95? Easy enough. Round figures. Easy to remember. Yeah. Petrolites as well. That's fine. More the merrier. Okay, give you a couple of moments if you like it, just to get the figures there as you tap away. Looks good, yeah. Might come off another 5 or 6. We don't know that. You know, everyone naturally, psychologically, when they go in, they want to move their direction straight away. Anybody who's been trading more than a day or two will go up and down. It might come down another 50 cents or whatever. So you're popping down as we speak. But then you might bounce, you wait and wait to get the right one, and you miss it, and then you do go in and it comes off again, bounces up and down. So looks good enough. Yeah, we've got the 88 anyway. But I've got it down 88.10, so we'll stick with that. Yeah, a lot of fundamental factors affect as well. Okay, we'll move on. You've got that. Euro dollar for a short. Look at that. I'm too scared now. I'm going to be honest with you, Solid. I'm too scared. That's unfortunately not a very good analyst comment, but I'm telling you right now, I'm chicken here. It's never been that low, you see. We can put a Fibonacci extension on if you want. I'll use the monthly for Fibonacci. No, yeah, I'll do the monthly. So you got a Fibonacci extension on the monthly right down to here as a target, 180 pips as a target, somewhere around there. But I'm scared. Sure, it's so weak, eh? I'm scared for the record, but what about you, Zeph, or anybody else? Anyway, well, as long as you made a profit, and how long you're in, as long as it's profitable. Yeah, I'm leaving alone as well. Okay, you 15 minutes to say, just quickly check on the other one. That's correct. Half-past is composite PMI, manufacturing, and the Sertal price producer price manufacturing index. Producer manufacturing index, get it right. PMI coming out, and then Canada 2:30 retail sales, and Powell speaking 8. Quite right. Anyone want to go and do this one? Zeph's not keen. I'm not keen. Anybody want to do it? I'm going to buy it now. Don't even think about it. But I'm a bit scared to chase it now. Sure will, Solly. Okay, go for it, Solly. I've unmuted. Go for it. Can't hear you. Maybe you're muted. I personally think so, yeah. Well, no, some guys took it. But yeah. Well, I'm muted anyway, so you can carry on. CADJPY, had a bit of a bad bloody rub of the green on this one, but can you say can't bounce from here? I personally think it's also overcooked. Been smacked about a couple of times, which I'm afraid I have on this one. You might be a bit gun shy, but I must admit I do see some upside on this one. I thought it was overcooked up here, to be honest. So that's why I bought it there. Didn't do many favors anyway. But yeah, I do see a possibility there. If you're not too gun shy. The 4 hour. Must admit, it's battle to get going, isn't it? As it try to move up, these lows are not actually, these highs aren't taking out the previous on the 4 hour. It's battling to get going. Maybe it'll pull back to 105. Maybe it'll pull back to 105. I have to say, I still like it, even though I've had a couple of smacks on it lately, but maybe get a 105. But Don't know what's going to do down here. I just don't know. Should we wait on this one? Come back just now then. So if you want to join it, just tell me. You can. I think maybe keep wait my right. Chef JPY seems to be doing okay. Got in this morning on that one. 1:45.20. Some guys got a little bit earlier. You're in already. That's fine. Stick with it, Asha. Right, that seems to be doing okay at the moment. The other one's a yen, dollar yen. That seems to be doing okay at the moment. Yeah, that's doing okay at the moment for entry. GBP CH Chef, that was your idea, Warren. 9:48. That's already seemed to be doing okay. So we're a few pips up on that one. So GBP, yep, NZDJPY. That was a buy. Even Stevens coming off a bit still, but hopefully come right. It's come off a little bit, but it's only about 2 or 3 pips. It's not a trend smashers yet. And the Brent, it's still falling. Still falling a bit. So if you're in, but it's, I think it might come back to 87, but that's why I say position size is important. Maybe go to 84 stop, and it might bounce. It comes off a little bit more. But anyway, we'll see how that works out. Okay, maybe up and down. You think you're doing well, go off the shops, come back, and not so much. You go to the shops again, and you're doing well. So let it bounce around a bit. So that works out. But it could come back. It could come back there. Maybe jump the gun a bit. But if that holds and it bounces, so be it. Okay. Right. Gold, I'm going to chase it now. Just a few moments ago. I don't want to chase it now, but Dell pretty got out of that one. Maybe the stop's a bit tight. Maybe she put an entry yesterday. I don't know. Pity, but it was a flyer, that one. But I'm not going to be chasing it now. But I still see the good chance of getting to 1650, but I wouldn't be chasing it now. We get a bit of a bounce. It seems to be a bit of a range. That can bounce, we can sell it again. Yeah, coming off as expected. No, 1 or 2 guys got in on that. I think they're still holding. I don't know. It's up to them. Okay, now to 60. I'm still holding, by the way. I will stop down just to rub it in. I'm going to 1680 and I'm still in. Good. Right, what else have we got? The others are all fine. They're all winners. We put ticks on them. We came through on Tuesday. S&P's a winner, and Apple, I think, will be down, so probably a winner as well. Just want to check the NASDAQ now we're here. Still seems to be falling. Yep, still seems to be falling. We'll be out of a better idea. Yeah. So it looks like if you're in short on the Apple trade, it should open down, so you should be smiling. And that was Tuesday one when I was last year. The DJ, okay, the DJ, same story. Remember, the world's markets tend to follow, not exactly, but America. So if you the S&P's down, the Dow's likely down as well, as you can see there. Again, I wouldn't chase it, but if you were in it, remember, you've got to have some money if you go into Dow Jones. Don't want you going in with less than about 8,000-9,000. That bears preferably 10 grand or more, with the volatility and size of the exposure. Remember, one standard lot is $300,000, whatever that is in rand. What's that? $300,000. It's about 5 million rand exposure. It's a very big position. One standard, even one micro is 500, 5 million, 500,000, 50,000. Even a mini is a 50,000 rand exposure. A micro, sorry, it's a 50 grand exposure. So rand terms, yeah. So don't play around with it if you haven't got much capital. It could get knocked out on a margin call, which is not pleasant, especially when you're right. It goes in your direction. We didn't have enough capital for the ups and downs of the noise. Okay, I don't want to chase it now, but it's, if you're in, hold on. Modify your stop. Are you in that one, Anya? Good stuff, solid. Are you in that one, Anya? No. Don't anyone else thinks I'm wrong and wants to join it now? for the record, I say I'm not so keen. Chasing at these levels here. Oh, look at this. It's the daily, remember? Might get a bit of a bounce. Sell the rally. Even if it bounces, I still think it's going to come off further. We're not out of the international economic problem woods yet. But yeah, sell if it gets a bit higher. But I wouldn't be chasing it. I think you might get a profit-taking bounce here. Yeah, I don't have that, Adele, but I'm not joining it now. Could be wrong. Anyone else want to join it now? For the record, I made quite clear I suggest leave it alone. I think we might get it's nothing to do with the recessional economy. It's just profit-taking bounce. So there's going to be quite a few TPs there, and quite a few institutions will probably start closing, and some of the shorter-term scalpers might buy a quick bounce, even if it goes against the trend. So if we can get it up back above 30,000, maybe around about 30,400. Remember, that's fine. That's 500 pips away from here. Then you can sell it down again. Could easily do that. Could easily, or not just the dollar. I'm more thinking of the yields. What are the yields doing? Just give me a second. Yields. That's dollars 11.183, and yields come off. It just was about 3.7%. It's just below that now. So yes, sell the rally. I'm not sure I'll be joining it now. Yeah. Okay. Same picture. See, they tend to follow the Americans. So maybe look at the Hong Kong put interest rates up, by the way, had a fascinating interest view as well. But remember the DAX or the FTSE or the CAC or whatever, you'd be selling the rally, yeah. But I won't be joining now. That's correct. Yeah, just dip below 3.7, yeah. Okay, I won't be joining it now. Sell the rally again. Forum, free to speak. If you want to join it now, buy it. It's up to you. You're in the NAS, see it, that's fine. Don't know what price you got in at, but you should be in profit now. Watch it. Remember, upper three opening is extremely volatile. The crossing and uncrossing of the opening can actually get it jumping around quite hectically. So yeah, when you move your stop of the Nasdaq, keep at least 100 pips away, at least a 200 pip stop when you enter. Do not put your stop closer. If you want to put your stop at 50 because you're nervous, just take the damn profit because the noise will knock you out anyway. Plus minus rule of thumb. Yes, we did. We're in it. I thought we did it this morning. Yeah, just after 9:30 started off with that one. We got at 110, I think, 142.10. 141.30 stop loss, 144 TP. Okay. Goodies, nice. See if I'm just hoping Brent's going to hold now. It's come off a bit. Maybe get a bit of a bounce here. Starting to get a bit of a bounce, so maybe it'll start coming right. Okay. So only one is looking a bit lackluster at the moment. The others seem to be okay. Okay, right. That's me sort of for ideas sorted. So anything else you'd like to discuss? And the newer guys here, if they haven't got frightened and stampeded off, I want to ask any questions. Remember, it's not a training Zoom class, so I can't spend an hour or two explaining what a different Bollinger Band is or whatever. But if you're not sure how to set the charts up, keep them simple like this. It doesn't take long. I can do that. I can clarify, in other words. Like you say, what's that bloody red line or what's that blue line or brown line? Or not a problem. But I can't do a whole long Zoom class. Number one, the traders in here take their time up, and number two, it's unfair. The guys have bought the course if they're getting it free in here anyway. Probably things open down. I'm thinking more tech stocks. Make it recent, do anything you like. But I think the overall market. Remember, mentioned Walmart. Simply, it's the biggest supermarket chain in the world. And as I said, it's a defensive stock, which, like I mentioned, because everyone's got to eat whether they like it or not, or survive whatever job they've got or haven't got. But including that one, there seems to be the actions on the downside. And look at that 10-day moving average. It's almost linear down. Okay, Werner, you've got to go. Okay, mate, enjoy your weekend as well. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so I'm trying to find something you can enter. I want to do Baba. This is Ferrari, by the way. I think we missed that one. I want to do Baba, but I think we missed it. Talked about it on Tuesday, and then I'll be honest, it slipped under my radar as a couple of daily, by the way. Yeah, to sell it, but as I said, maybe it's a little bit higher. I can't remember what happened, but we left it anyway. Again, it's looking a bit oversold there, might get a bit of a bounce. If we get it back up here somewhere, maybe sell it down again. But the problem with the shares now, I think most of them will open down, so you might not get a decent risk reward because we don't know what's going to open at. We'll have to see when it opens. If it's opened too far down, those are on board, happy chappies. Those chasing, it might be a little bit too late. So those are still in Apple, they should do okay on opening. What your on smart money concepts order blocks? Right, the smart money is, I think I know what you mean. I hope I know what you mean. Very simply put, follow the money. In other words, the smart money is not necessarily smart. It's just size, big. I'll give you an example. I'm a wealthy billionaire and I suddenly decide to sell the rand because it's what's called an exotic, and the liquidity inside it is nothing like the euro dollar or the dollar yen or whatever. Means if I decide to go in a very, very large, highly leveraged position, I'm shorting it, presume there's no laws to stop me, that would be smart money pushing the rand down, if you like. So that's, in my opinion, that's what it means. Follow the money. Smart money is because they've got a lot of it, not always smart. Often they are, don't get me wrong, but whether you're smart or not, if you've got a big enough position, you'll affect the markets. And you climb on the back of it, basically. In other words, you're now seeing an order of, let's say, Baba's open, and you see a waiting order to be processed of, let's say, 1 million shares of Baba to sell it. You'd be going in on that. You would join him on it because an order like that will push the price down and vice versa. An order block is that. If you go, I should just go into that moment. I'll put this one here. Right click, it's all the same. Yeah, I'll go there. I'll go down. It says there, fill or kill. Right? What does that mean? It means doesn't matter to all due respect to you guys because the capital isn't large like institutional or high net worth capital. So if you wanted to go into position, it's all of it goes in or none of it. Not part of that position is filled. Right, so it's fill or kill. So now you're in or not in. Doesn't matter to you guys, fine. But an order block situation is different. You got institution. We'll go back to, I don't know, what we're looking at just now. What was that show looking at now? Forgotten that. Oh, Baba, that's right. You've got an order block of, let's say, 1 million shares. There might not be at that specific time 1 million shares to be sold. So they wouldn't be on fill or kill. They'll be partial fill. So let's say there's 500 available, they'll gobble them up. And then as the price starts moving, another couple 100,000 come available, gobble it up until they're fully in the market. That's an order block. Make sense? Or I don't know if Yap is still here, just teasing him, or if you try to do the S&P to enter, that's an order block. He's no need close it. That's a joke, I'm kidding you. Okay, well, it all makes sense. Good, all right. Brent's starting to recover a bit, good stuff, those who got in. CHF JPY, flat, do a quick recovery here, big, silly nothing, that was it. Start to have it's a bit slow, it's going to take out these guys here to get moving. Okay, dollar yen's another one. Start to move again. It's got to take these guys out to get moving. It's still a bit range trading, but it starts to look prettier than it was an hour or so ago. GBP CHF, just a quick check again. How did these? We got 5 out, by the way. Just a quick check. GBP CHF. What are we getting at? We've got a Celnis 948. It's doing nicely. Well done, Warren. We're 18 pips in profit. You mean, not sure what you mean by that. Here now better than earlier. Not sure what that means. It sounds better. Okay, well, maybe I'm missing each other. Okay, anyway, GBP CHF's 18 pips or so in profit. Well done. Cool, man. Cool, Mr. Warren. NZDJPI, that was a 75. NZDJPY. Still hovering. Let's drink bug all. But 75, it's still sodding 75. Talk about inertia. Okay. At least it's not gone down. Brent's come off a little bit, but I think to be recovering. Oh, having said that, popped down a little bit. Oh, we'll have to see on that one. I hope we'll get some recovery there. But you can't win them all. That's why you have stop losses and position sizing. So at the moment, one's even Stevens, one is slightly down, the other three are looking pretty good stuff. My internet's nothing wrong with mine. Mine's fine. If you have a problem, it comes flash across the screen. Your internet's a bit on the iffy side, or worse, that effect. So mine's fine. Might be your side and the other. Yeah, actually, I want to just change something from my internet. Adele, yeah, still with us there. As I know, you live in Orkney. Do you get to fibre in Orkney? Maybe I'm bringing ignorance on that question because I know a lot of guys outside the major cities can't get fibre. Can you get fibre there? Because if you can, I cannot overstate how important to get it is. I see also, okay, Yappy. If you can get fibre, it's worth every single penny. It's so reliable. I remember I had Wi-Fi just over a year ago with what else? A company called Moranis, right? And had problems. Kept all the time was buffering. So if you can get, if you can get fibre, go for it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But as I say, I find the data on the mobile is not that great. When you go out and you don't want to drive and you want to use Uber or Bolt or whatever, I often find if I'm doing that, hell's own job to order up a Bolt, I usually Bolt for whatever reason, because I use mobile data, and even some of the restaurant data is not that great. Once used to fibre, it's not that great. It's being polite. It's bloody pathetic, actually. After fibre. The only exotics we've got on here is the ZAR, Euro, ZAR, GBP, and ZAR dollar. We don't have any others. I don't know. Maybe IG's got them. I know most of the American big boys like Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan will have them. They'll have something you'll call the softs, which is like agricultural futures, soybeans, and that sort of thing. We don't have them. Lack of liquidity, costs involved, too many guys, and to be quite honest, knowledge is, shall we say, somewhat limited. It creates more problems than it's worth having it. Because, I mean, there's one or two know the score about the costs and the situation involved. A lot of them don't jump in because I think that's okay, and wonder why it's not working because the costs involved. And yeah, so we're going to stick with that as far as I know. But they call them the softs, which is agricultural futures, soybeans, orange juice, pork bellies. You get the idea. And those we'll be leaving alone. The volatility understanding is a little bit much for a lot of people. So I'm a bit patronising. Unfortunately, that's the case. So we won't be going that direction as far as I know. We're expanding worldwide. I know that for a fact, which is exciting, good stuff, but we shall see. PMI results are out, just checking, thank you. Right, read out now, get your chat line out of the way. Right. Expected 49, 48.4, nearly there. Expected 47.5 on the manufacturing, 48.5, slightly better, and the services slightly down. So it looks pretty much even, Stephen. One up better than expected, and the other a little bit less. Doesn't make much difference. Huppers 10, did they have any much change on GBP one, CHF? Did any jump on it? Looks like a bit of a jump on that for that reason. Okay, that seems to have had a bit of a positive effect more than they. How it's interpreted comes up, we don't know until it's come out. Some of it's quite surprising. You get the jump and you expect the opposite or vice versa. But that being as it may, don't know how long it's going to continue. It has had a bit of a jump in the last few minutes, a 5-minute chart to check it out. But I think the cells will come back in again. So I wouldn't say it's too big a deal, in my opinion, anyway. Okay. Is Brent coming off? Seem to be starting to hold above 87.50, which is good. Okay, right. Anything else you'd like to discuss, guys? Any questions? Anything you're not sure about? As long as you don't tell you what the price is going to be in 10 minutes, I don't know. But anything on the, you've all got the yields, if you all got them. If you haven't, I'll copy and paste as per normal. So everyone got the 10-year US note yields and the DXY, because I can copy and paste to save your browser if you haven't got it. If you haven't, just put the chat line and let me know. And I'll copy and paste, it won't take long. Do you think the FRD will rise the interest rate again? The Fed, I presume you mean? Oh yeah, excuse me. Will rise the interest rate again this night? No, of course he won't. No, absolutely guaranteed it won't. No, no, that was done yesterday. He's just having a chit chat because it's again Q&A, a little bit of a sermon on his overall take of the market. It's actually quite right to point out to be much, in my opinion. I don't know, but my opinion, I'll be much the same as we reiterating what I've been saying before. He would never do that Sunday, just after one yesterday. That would seriously spook the markets. Oh, never. AUD, right? Well, if you're in for sure, I'd say, I think a good chance it could come down here. Don't know what price you got in at. We had one to say ourselves here. Still got it hanging around somewhere. I think I chucked it because it was about several days old and it was already a winner. So I chucked it. Don't have too much paper and stuff hanging around. Yeah, could have a bit of a bounce. It could take out 89. I won't be entering now. It's got a bit of a resistance there. Might get a bit of a bounce, but I think overall probably a good chance it comes back down to 200. I think the best thing is if no price going, but I'm almost certain a profit. That you were getting in there, probably out there somewhere. Is just make sure your stop's a bit in profit. Don't get too close. So whatever happens, just keep your fingers crossed. I'm a bit iffy it's going to break through now, but I think it might get to 89. I think it might hold a bit there and bounce. It could slip down. Where's this price here? Well, on the hour one, you dick. Sorry, I looked at the wrong value on there. A bit of resistance there as well, so that's fine with daily. I think it's running out a bit of steam there, to be honest. The 10-day might hold. So I was looking at the wrong value one minute. Sorry. I think it's not. I think 89 might hold. It's run out a bit of steam. It might get a bounce. 89.22. Okay, you're only a couple of bucks up. Only a couple of pips up. Okay. You see, my worry is that there is higher than that, if you get my point. And it's now smack on the 10-day, which seems to be holding. I think 89 might hold, to be honest. Yeah. So I can give a more hopeful news, but yeah. Yeah, well, it's a 10-day one we're looking at, and it seems to be holding, you know. And the previous day's candles, I think the buyers might defend 89. I think you might get a bit of a bounce there, etc. But having said that, if it opens up on Monday below that, it pops up, you got your stop up here somewhere, good chance that it might come off again. I might even look at it as a potential entry if it gets back up there, but we shall see. But I would feel the 89 might hold. Well, you can see that it came down on the 10-day. It poked his head below, and the buyers came in. Came down, the buyers came in. Came down, the buyers came in. Came down, the buyers came in. Came down here, the buyers came in. Came down here, the buyers came in again. So it hadn't really had a clean break below that since, what was that, 14th, about a week ago. Much longer than that. Hey, what are we now? 23rd, nearly 10 days ago. That's a shorter term one. So it's been, you know, it's about nearly a week and a half. Remember, there's 5 days a week trading that battled to get a sustained break below. Yeah, I think it gets 89. Either take it, or cut your position, or certainly move your stop to entry. You can't lose, Jones. Yeah, might as well the trade's just to jump out. Just going to mute because there's a bit of background noise there. Okay. By the way, DXY has taken out 112. It's popped back up again. So the dollar's still screaming. And the yields, I've got stuck my chart there, so a second. Yeah, yields are just below 3.7, so they're still pretty strong. So don't join gold now, but still see downside in gold. Oh, there you are, it's come on nicely. But you took that one earlier, Adele. What a pity. You were seriously smiling then. Yeah, okay. So let's have okay, yeah. Sorry to remind you, yeah. You made a nice one, but it would have been phenomenal. Eh? And just to rub it in, Adele, I'm still in it. Yeah, I moved the stop down to, I think, 79, $1 below 80 with my entry. Looking back, maybe that stop was a little bit of a tight side. Pity. Anyway, for instance. S&P as well. I think that would have been a better hold. Anyway, never mind. Done is done. Didn't lose. That's the main thing. Yeah, I think you can blame me on actually. Yeah, could have turned around and said, "Oh, hang on a minute, it's a bit close," and I didn't. So we'll shoulder it together on that. Okay, there's a dollar yen doing its thing. Hey, look at this. Hope you're still on that, guys. Hope you're still on it. Don't get too cute and jump out too quickly. That's doing nicely. So the CHF JPY, Brent, it didn't have on bloody Brent. Hovering. Okay, maybe find a bit of a bottom there. NZD JPY. So that doing 82.83. Oh, it's just up. It's not shooting out, but it's up. AUD USD. I'll hand you over to Zeph on. I'm still scared. Zeph, what do you reckon? Help out Gerard. He wants to sell it. What do you think? I think Zeph's still looking at his AUD CAD and getting a bit nervous. I'm scared to join it now. I told the dollar's still strong. I get that, but I'm scared to sell it now. Might be wrong, but I'm chicken. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. In my opinion, this should sell as well. I see more exactly. Totally, I agree with both of you there. Might come off, but leave it alone. Ship or sell, my opinion as well. See more downside, agreed. And you're still in profit. You're in. Good luck. Hold on. But yeah, there's still downside there. Why would you get out? But joining it now, yeah. Kahala. Good stuff. Okay. GBP CHF was the other one. Is that doing any good? Now, it's starting to come off a little bit after that little bit of a jump on the news, but I think it's just a sort of a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. Wasn't that different to the expectations on the pound, on the PMI? So, yeah, seem to be coming off a bit. So, all of them seem to be in profit, except for Brent, but it's not a disaster as yet. Hopefully, it gets a bounce soon. Start to try to bounce, so it might come right. Go. Okay, anything else? Any of you guys want to ask any questions? Have you all got the sort of minimize and save your browser, the DXY and the yields on the 10-year, very important. And the economic calendar, also extremely important. Have you all got that? If you haven't, please tell me. Even if one tells me, like Son Gomorrah. Even if one does, I will copy and paste for you. Anybody want those three? Copy and paste them onto the chat line. Very important. If you haven't got them, you must have them, like the position size calculator. Okay, I'll do it. Well, I'll do that now. Start with the 10-year note. Yields we're after. So let's copy and paste, save it, minimize it like I've done. Excuse me. Well done, John. It's a nice thing to happen to HTTP. All due to the trading room Marines, eh? That's the DXY and the economic calendar. Updates automatically. I like this one. I like it very much. So those who don't have it, copy, paste, save it, and minimize when you're trading so you can quickly have a quick check on it. Last thing you want to do is go into a specific trade with important information, fundamental coming out. And you could get lucky, but you could get unlucky. Yeah, gold nuggets, I hope. And see, the idea, which you probably get the idea, what I'm trying to push, keep it simple, stupid. Now, when you're first starting, even changing gear in a car looks complicated, but you soon find it's not that complicated if you keep it sort of basic. I find too many traders out there get too analytical on it, and I don't see it does them a lot of good. I did that myself in the years gone by. I've just really simplified it, and it seems to be working anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So don't forget, you can always modify your TP. If you still think there's going to be some more downward movement, why not modify your TP and modify your stop? You might get some more. Okay, yeah, it's getting near to Friday close. Anything else you want me to discuss? Anything else you want to go over? You've all got the position size calculator. You've got those three important links there sent to you. You know what the moving averages are. You know you save them. You know if you want to look at margin or anything like that, just click on the particular one. If you want to know what the leverage is, left click, right click, go to specifications, and the leverage you divide whatever the margin is into 100 and give you a leverage. It's all about 500 to 1 and 100 to 1, but that's just a covering name. Don't think we've got anything that's actually 100 to 1 or 5 to 1. Or slightly different depending on where the company, the market maker basically sets the actual margin. So yeah, that's so you can get the information from the specifications. And yeah. That's an interesting point you made there. Yeah, good idea. What app to use to open risk calculator on Android? Okay, now if you're using a phone, I don't use a phone. I'm going to be totally honest with you, David. I can do most of my head now. It's just practice. But I have it on here for showing people. It quite makes it easier. for the laptop. On the phone, you've got to go to the App Store. There's quite a few of them. I don't use them because I don't need to. So I can't recommend one better than the other. So maybe go and check out a couple, see all of them got comments, whether they think it's 5 stars, 3, or don't like or like it. Check a couple out. What's comfortable for you, download it. Okay. But if you want to take this seriously, and because it takes time and effort to put in to do it, quicker you can get a laptop, the better. Very, very limited what you do a phone. The point behind the phone is mobility. You're in the shop, you're out, you're driving along, and somebody comes up. You can't and you haven't got a dongle for the laptop, which you've got to stop the car, fire it up, and all that carry on. It's just easy to modify or enter, but to do any sort of research or strategy or analysis on a phone is, might be very limited. You've got to have the tools for the job. Yeah, you're looking for the yields, right? The higher the yields, the worse it is for gold and the share market and the indices, and vice versa. So the yields start falling off, gold should go up, and you should have a bit of a bounce in the markets, stock markets, not the forex, as in markets, as in the stock or share markets, and the indices of the shares. Okay, dollar exactly the same. Gold wants a weak dollar and hates a strong dollar. So they're inversely proportional and similar with the yields. So high yields, high DXY, weaker share market and weaker gold, vice versa. Is it running now, is it? Okay, I like to hear that. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, not doing too bad, is it? Not too bad. It's about 70 pips from the entry I got out this morning. Oh, whoopee. There's Brent doing it. I think anyone's giving us a bit of a Brent's starting to try to come right, so maybe we'll come right on that one. CHF JPY, what are we getting on that one? I think it was 20. It's up reasonably, yeah. So that's not doing too bad. Yeah, Warren, it's not doing bad at all. And what about yours, GBP CHF? Let's forget about you. Well, okay, up a little bit, but not a train smashes yet. It looks like that the 50 hourly one might hold. It tried to take it, it didn't. So it looks to be holding. So maybe we come lucky on that. Some takeoff move for sure. Yeah. Look like you're right there. Back over 1-2 and NZD-JPY. That was 75. Anything happening? Wasn't much happening earlier on. Start to happen. We're nearly 10 pips up on that one. So it's starting to happen. Yeah. Exactly. I'm looking at your surname there, Nyasha. Is that Zimbabwean name? Trying to sort of broaden my knowledge here. See a lot of Zimbabweans are similar, not that exactly, but similar to that. Okay, right. Okay, let's just go up to 11. Yeah, should we, after how many pips and pros it though? This is very, very much a thumb suck here, Tebu, but I usually plus minus work about 30. Southern Rhodesia, oh, well, yeah, Southern Rhodesia back then, that's right. We've got to show your age there. And Zambia's Northern Rhodesia, that's right, yeah. Okay, where all the Wenwis came from. If you show your age, you know what I'm talking about, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, about 30 pips. Unless you're doing the NASDAQ, then only modify your stop. And I think when you're about 200 in profit and then 100 behind. Very volatile. We can't do close. Put 30 pips on the NAS, you're going to get knocked out. But on Forex, plus minus about 30 pips. And then once it starts moving down, you can start modifying it maybe 20 pips away, just to be careful. Only one down. There's always a downside as well as an upside. The only downside with that is say, Sherman, are we still there? No, just left. where you can sometimes get stopped out and it continues in the right direction. You made a profit, you missed out on a bigger one. I still think I'm leaning towards rather do that than hold with a stop loss in the original in case the TP is not reached and suddenly something comes up, an economic fundamental, and your profit suddenly changes around and now you're lost, now you're cursing. So I'd rather miss out on a decent profit and played safe by getting the modified SL. Okay. Okay, guys. Right. I'll catch you on Wednesday. Ash will be back on Monday. Have a nice one and go well. Good stuff. Thanks, guys.